I've been lurking for several days now, I'll share. Meet girl. She is a hardcore psychonaut. Has pounds of mushrooms put away. Be me. Just started experimenting with drugs in last few years. Have tripped, just not a bunch. Girl and I getting serious. Think I might love her. Talking one day, express how much I want to trip balls and become Sid Barrett. She obliges because we are self-destructive. We each end up slurping 14 to 20 grams of UA smoothies. She is still finishing smoothie, tells me to not wait on her. Go play her bass a bit. Man, I'm not feeling it. Always my famous last words. Start playing White Rabbit by Jefferson Airplane. Bass suddenly starts feeling like noodles. Strings running in every which direction. Decide to rejoin girl. Girl is now tripping hard. Realize I am also now tripping hard. Start to have panic attack. BC I did 14 grams of shrooms. She lays on me. I close my eyes. Suddenly feel like I'm sinking. Can't stop crying. Create box and head to escape. Girl walks into box and hugs me. Feel loved and warm. Suddenly, girl realizes she is in my head. Rapes my brain. Sees me as a scared little boy hiding from dad. Sees me nearly kill this homeless guy who picked a fight with me. Sees how deeply I can love, but how pure my upsetness with humanity is. She looks at my core. Realizes I'm a pretty sick puppy. Next came a series of gifs, short snippets. Realize they are of one of my timelines. Suddenly, almost as soon as she came in, greater than she starts seeing herself out. Come out of state together. Sorry I did that, Anon. I couldn't stop myself. Me, an absolute state. She goes back in. This time I can't go back with her. She's sending me little updates telepathically. Trip ends, time passes. We are still together but there's definitely been a shift. She knows my truth now. One day she ghosts me. Lives far away, too broke to go visit. More time passes. Have not heard from her in over a year. Still have no idea what to make of it all. I think I just got #exposed. I've been holding on to this story for a while. Never really known where to go with it. Didn't really know who would believe me. Only told a close friend a long time ago after a few drinks. Be me. 2007. 19 years old. Living in Hawaii. Live in shitty apartment out in Kailua. Going to hang out with friends later. Hungry as fuck. Local market near me that has the best fucking subs ever. Walk out of market with sub in hand. Market is fairly close to beach. Decide to walk to beach for a while. If any of you are from Kailua, you know that it gets pitch black at night. Closest thing I could find is the pic attached. The pic doesn't really do it justice. For reference, I could have held my hand 6 inches away from my face and not been able to see it. It was like being blindfolded. Walking along beach. Darkness is making me unsettled. Feel like he'd been walking for hours. Usually by now the beach would end and you would get back to the street. Still on beach. I can hear the waves crashing against the shore. Usually very calming but this time it's sort of unnerving. Every once in a while I hear this odd sort of mechanical sound. A mix between a ring and a buzz. The darkness is terrifying. Nearly exhausted at this point. Only sustenance for me is the last few bites of sub. The beach should have ended a long time ago. Wondering if I got lost or turned around somehow. Hear this bump noise behind me. Feel my heart stop. Everything goes silent. No longer hear waves, no birds, critters, nothing. Terrifying silence. Too scared to look behind me, not even sure if I'll see anything. Hear thuds and sand. Sounds like footsteps. Slow as hell. Barely work up courage to look behind me. Turn around. See white light in distance. What fuck is that? .jpg. Footsteps continue. Feeling of dread sweeps my body. For some reason the thing I remember most is the feeling of the sub in my hands. White light and footsteps getting closer. Trying to make out what this thing is. Greater than 33,362,309. Be me. 16 yo at the time. Take first dose of homegrown shrooms ever after 3 acid drips of 100 micrograms each. Fuck it, 4.5 grams first timer, no biggie. Cannot remember the type of shrooms. Eat them one by one like chips while sitting watching the PC. 30 minutes and I am starting to feel something. Get up from chair. Start rambling and moving back and forth in the room while looking around myself. Incomprehensible babble. Have visions of the ascended cosmic man like the one in the meme. Goes on like this for 20 minutes maybe. Brother enters house. Looks at me. Did you take them? Nod with a grin on my face. Go both to the balcony, he is smoking weed. I try and talk to him but make myself barely comprehensible. All I can mutter is it's too hard to speak. Enter back in the house. He goes to sleep while I decide to play Dota 2. Fuck it, I am going to play ranked. Advise every player that I am under the influence of 4 grams of shrooms. Pick related are the screenshots I took from that game. Cannot understand what the fuck is happening. Everything seems to go either in slow motion or as if it is melting into everything else. It's super fun. Lose the game. Post on /x/abit. Time passes now it's either 3 or 4 a.m. Be looking at the void. Hear a big ass burp coming from down my street. What the hell? JPEG. Go check. Some dude was feeling ill and had to stop his car in the middle of the street. Look behind him and there were some cops that saw the whole scene. Think that he might be the unluckiest lad ever. Stay on the balcony to monitor the situation. Be an unconscious morale support for the dude and storm down if the cops start abusing him because he is drunk. Start blasting Gigi Allen No Rules from the balcony at full volume, somehow nobody says anything about it. Feel badass as fuck and as if I am some kind of warrior. They don't do anything to him so it is unnecessary that I monitor anymore. Go to bed. Trip ends. Be me a few months ago. GF came over. Chillin'. I drop her off at her apartment around 11:30. Looks at me pale as fuck as I'm pulling up to the place. Ask what's up. Said she saw a person's shadow moving but no person was attached to it. All null.bmp. Drive back home. Try to go to sleep. Hear loud as fuck footsteps and light switch flickering coming from the living room area. Go over there. Literally nothing there or no switches moved. What fuck.mov. Go back to bed. Everything in bedroom hanging is swaying aggressively despite that AC and fan were off. Every time I try sleeping just kept dreaming creepy shit. Then I remembered /x/'s tried and true method. Ripped pants off like a paid musician. Spanked my monkey like there was no tomorrow. Projectile nut 3 feet in the air. Swear on my savings that everything went back to normal almost immediately. When there's something strange in the neighborhood, who you gon' call? Nutbusters. Be me. Store employee. Am the definition of sex, not really. See hippie lady around with dreads. Feel she has been in many higher states of consciousness before. Peep the booty and face to see what's good. It's mid-40s. In age. Looks more worn out than the blotter sheets she held to Chester Lincoln Park Field's face in 2001, and has since thrown into the garbage can. Ask her if she needs help finding anything. Turns her face towards mine. This goddamn hippie turned 16 years younger in the face. Refuses help tersely but sweetly, with supreme non-violent communication. See her later that day in the aisles. Mid-40s in age. Looking worn out again, but no resting bitch face. See what happens when you carry yourself with respect? You lose my 20 years also. Meet new service worker co-worker. Council of chick co-workers say she's off. She laser focuses on me and love bombs me. During the first day of love bombing, I glance at her. Looks like a furious demon face with bushy eyebrows, just put for blood. Completely different face, TBQH. Like a mask. As I pull my eyes away from her face, which wasn't looking at me. Her face looks all usual. Council of Women tells me not to bone, but my brain rejects that as it does the advice of my parents. Anyone have any encounters with strange people? Be me in college. It's in the middle of nowhere and most people wear Walmart or Carhartt stuff. Me and a few friends went to a bar to get shitty. A strange man walks in. White ghost, looked almost dead but still pretty handsome. Wearing very ornate boots but not like cowboy or work boots, these looked expensive. Wearing an overcoat, turtleneck and slacks. He had a very ominous vibe about him. His eyes caught light kind of like a dog or a wild animal, so they would glow. Everyone kind of ignored him and I'm surprised no one called him a fag or something. He took off his leather gloves and his hand looked like skin and bone. At the bar he ordered shot after shot and paid in cash. We went outside for a smoke and out of nowhere he was behind us and asked us for a cigarette. Super soft-spoken voice. We gave him one, he quietly smoked it and left. The dude just gave everyone the creeps. He sat back at the bar and started chatting at the bartender and asking him about the town. Never said where he was from or talked about himself. Then he just walked out and walked to the road. It was around 0 degrees that night and the guy wasn't really dressed for that kind of cold. Talked with the bartender and he paid with very old cash, from the 70s. Never saw him again or heard about him. Have you ever met a kind person who had a dark second side to them, if that makes sense? Yes, myself. Also, is this normal or indicative of a psychological disturbance or something supernatural? I think it's normal. I think people that don't realize they are capable of evil are far more disturbed. Read up on Jung's idea of the shadow. Here's a story though. Be me, 19 years/O. Country demands mandatory military, civil service. Do civil service in mental health institute. Have this one client, artist, very nice, elderly chill dude. We bond over art and share stories about marijuana. One day I organize a electrician for his flat because there were some problems. Let him know the electricians come the next day. Next day. Secretary receives a call from the electricians, they were also part of this organization. Client is acting very weird. No professional free, send me because the secretary knows I can deal very well with the client. Get there. Client has a psychotic episode. Very friendly to me but super nervous. Calmly tells me that he has hidden knives all over the place and is ready to stab these strangers, the electricians. Shows me the knives. I tell the electricians to leave and have a calm chat with the guy. He tells me his weird story of how he met his dealer but then his dealer got busted and aliens came to abduct him in the night. I calm him down and take him back to the institution where the professionals take over. TL, Dr. Elderly patient smoked marijuana, went psychotic and was about to stab 3 people that came to fix the electricity in his flat. Be me, 15. Working at Hardee's. Working at the front register when a tall slim man in a black coat, greasy hair, dirty glasses come in. He comes up to a counter and smiles, his teeth were tinged yellow and crooked. He orders, asked for gravy with his fries. This Hardee's was in Montana, hours from the Canadian border. We don't have gravy, he says that's fine and then asks where the nearest Popeyes is. I tell him it's on the military base in town, and you need a military ID to get in. He says, oh okay, and takes out his wallet to pay for the order. He attempts to hand me Canadian money, I can't take it. He shows me the Canadian coins, going on that, this is a loonie, and this is a toonie. Okay. He gives me USD. He gets his order and leaves. 2 hours later he's back. Yeah, I tried to go to the Popeyes and they didn't let me in. Well yeah, I told you that you needed a military ID to get in. He orders a ham and cheese, gets it, and then leaves. He is the only genuinely strange person I've interacted with. OK/X/ I got a green text for you. In all my years of coming on 4chan in general I've been on /X/ I've never had a nope story to contribute but today I've finally got one for you guys I guess. I lurked this board years but stopped coming when I stopped seeing nope threads started as much and all the dumb tulpa bullshit was happening where Bernies were trying to make tulpas of their favorite children's horse. I digress. I always enjoyed the Nope threads but never had a good story to contribute as I've never really had anything majorly paranormal happen in my life. If you got anything like this or anything interesting, feel free to share it. Dreams, Nope thread. Be me dreaming. Having nightmare. This is not the first part of what seems to be multiple dreams I'm having because I had dreamt other things before this scene. In what seems to be a hotel room. Was listening to some French music that sounded like an accordion on a smartphone. All of a sudden I start to feel like the music, coming from another room of the hotel room, almost as if it's being mimicked. For whatever reason I can recognize that I am in the presence of a demon / spirit / whatever, but it definitely felt to me in the moment like it had poltergeist vibes. Unsure how I knew this, but I did. Stop the music and begin to taunt. Try to mockingly carry out a conversation with this spirit, talking about my knowledge of the French language and speaking a French word or two. This seems to make the spirit more aggressive. I guess he hates French. Start to feel him coming after me as I lie in the hotel bed. Spirit is starting to lift a few fluorescent light bulbs bundled together and wraps them in a bedsheet. Starts swinging it at me. He's missing, but he's getting closer with each swing. Feel helpless as he breaks it and proceeds to try to stab me with it. Feel as though I'm about to die.